The admission by New York Congressman Anthony Weiner that he sent lewd photos over the internet has sent shockwaves rippling through political circles.
It's also pushing the private lives of Weiner's women into a very public arena. Brandi Hitt is here with new details on the continuing and explosive fallout. Brandi.
Sharon, Micah, there are calls today for Congressman Anthony Weiner to resign, and there are also more women he's admitted to sexting coming forward. But the congressman is sticking to his guns.
Official call for your resignation.
Careful, guys.
How do you feel about that?
He's entitled to his viewpoint. Careful. But
Would you consider it?
I'm not resigning, no.
New York Congressman Anthony Weiner refuses to resign one day after he admitted to sexting several women online.
I'm deeply ashamed of my terrible judgment and actions.
During a tearful admission that he accidentally posted this picture of his underwear on Twitter and then lied about it, the congressman said his future is now in the hands of the voters.
I wish there was some way I can defend him, but I can't.
He's not getting any help from fellow Democrats.
What advice would you give him if he asked you?
Call somebody else.
And some of his constituents have already made up their minds.
I think his credibility is ruined.
At least he owned up to it and admitted to it.
Hopefully he'll get through it and move on. I think he's a great guy.
I think he should resign.
This sign was taped on Weiner's Brooklyn office, and Democratic House Leader Nancy Pelosi has already called for an ethics investigation. Megan Broussard was the first woman who exchanged messages with Weiner to come forward.
He was eager to hear about if I wanted him or thought he was attractive.
Now TMZ claims to have found other women describing their raunchy and sexually explicit conversations with the congressman, including this porn star. TMZ says it has obtained emails right after the scandal first broke in which Weiner told her to lie to the media about their online relationship. As we now know, lying didn't work.
This was a very dumb thing to do.
And coming up tonight on the KTLA News at 10 o'clock, we're going to take a closer look at some of the messaging between Congressman Weiner and these women and what he told them to say to the media when this scandal first broke. Mike and Cher, back to you.
What advice would you give him if he asked you?
Call somebody else.
The heat is on tonight as even those in Anthony Weiner's own party are turning away from the scandal that has skyrocketed into the headlines. And the evidence mounts about the number of lewd sex that Congressman Anthony Weiner sent to young women.
And the Democrat from New York may well find himself with far fewer friends in Congress than on Facebook. Brandi Hitt here in studio with the newest details on an expanding scandal. Brandi.
Mike and Cher, first came the calls for an ethics investigation. Well, tonight, there are calls for Anthony Weiner's resignation, but the congressman is refusing to quit.
I think he should resign.
Members of Congress are making it clear, but New York Representative Anthony Weiner is sticking to his guns.
But Would you consider it?
I'm not resigning, no.
24 hours after his tearful admission to sexting several women online and then lying about it,
I'm deeply ashamed of my terrible judgment and actions.
This scandal is not going away.
I wish there was some way I can defend him, but I can't.
Weiner's fellow Democrats aren't even lending him a hand.
What advice would you give him if he asked you?
Call somebody else.
And Republicans like Donald Trump are on the attack.
He's a psycho. And when this came out, I was not surprised at all.
What is surprising to some are the women now coming forward claiming they're the ones who sexted back and forth raunchy and sexually explicit messages with the married congressman.
Thank you. I don't have any comment right now.
First, it was Megan Broussard.
He was eager to hear about if I wanted him or thought he was attractive.
Then TMZ spoke to Lisa Weiss, a Vegas blackjack dealer.
It's really messing up my life. I'm completely humiliated by this whole situation.
Now, former porn star Ginger Lee has come forward telling TMZ Weiner insisted she lie about their relationship to the media and to use this prefabricated statement if ever questioned. Something like, "This is silly. Like so many others, I follow Rep. Weiner on Twitter. I don't know him and have never met him. He briefly followed me and sent me a DM saying thank you for the follow. That's it." We now know the lies have not worked.
This was a very dumb thing to do.
And with this message posted at his office, many feel the congressman will soon see the writing on the wall. House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi has sent off a letter to the House Ethics Committee formally calling for an investigation in this case. One of the women has said that Congressman Weiner did call her late at night from his office. Micah, back to you.
Brandi Hitt, thank you. Of course,